You know what's weird?
Your face.
No, we're
Oh,
recording this on November the 11th, and the
neither of us are
girlfriend.
wearing a poppy.
Hmm?
And neither of us are wearing a poppy.
No, not that. Because this is coming out after. Anyways, my girlfriend said Happy Remembrance Day, and I've never heard anyone ever say Happy Remembrance Day. And then I
Yeah,
went on a rant that it's not supposed to be a happy day; it's supposed to be a somber day because I take that stuff to heart.
I get that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with saying Happy Remembrance Day. What would you rather say?
Nothing.
Remembrance Day?
Yeah, it's Remembrance Day.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah,
My wife had me put up the Christmas lights last week. I refused to turn them on
we're
until
putting up the
tomorrow.
Christmas tree tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, I imagine mine's not far behind. That is the deal that I have with my wife. I will
Yeah.
hang. The only reason we hung the Christmas lights already is because it was milder out. So let's do
Hmm.
it before it gets cold.
Yep,
And
I
I
do
said,
that
no
too.
problem. But if I see them plugged in before November 12th,
Yeah.
we're going to have an issue. And
Yeah.
she's been patiently waiting. She even asked me, can I put them on tonight? I'm like, nope.
Hmm.
You can put them on tomorrow.
Yeah, you turn them on to check, make sure that they're all good, and then they stay off
We did it
until
in the
November
daylight.
12th.
Yeah, we plugged them in as we were hanging them, made sure they were all good. And then they never getting plugged in again until
We
after about.
checked ours because we leave them up all year round. We're those people.
Hey everyone, I'm Brad from Calgary.
This is Sean from Cambridge, Ontario.
I'm Terry from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, this is Larry from Pitt Meadows, British Columbia, and you're listening to the Towing Life podcast.
Welcome to the Towing Life podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drivers are not. I'm your host, TowManG, and as usual, I'm joined by my co-host, friend, and former coworker, the man who's got something wrong with his sciatica over there, Mr. PlainGuy.
What is going on, G? What is going on?
Oh, I was doing the intro, and then you're over there wincing in pain for some sort of reason. You
So,
pull your back out doing the last round of golf or something, or what?
no, actually, it's funny. I'll get into my back shortly. But no, I was doing a little like stretch with a yawn, and I pulled something up in like my rib cage and armpit area, and it kind of hurt
When
a
you're
little.
young, you can fall out of a tree and get up and walk away. And how you blow your back out in your 30s, I slept on it funny, or I sneezed. I coughed and farted at the same time, and now I'm done.
Dude, the struggle is real. I'd read a social media post back when that you know they don't tell you about in your 30s is that you're never 100%.
No.
It's not that you're always hurting and you're always, but you're never fully 100%.
Yeah, and you
And
don't know if you do get a pain, if it's going to stay and it's just going to be something you deal with for the rest of your life, or if you're actually going to get better from it.
well, so funny story. So I've got a knee that's acting up because I decided to have a foot race with my mechanic across our yard like
Oh,
3
smart.
weeks ago, and my knee has still not been right since.
And how old are you?
I am. I had to figure this out not long ago. I'm 34.
You're too old for be doing that stuff nonchalantly.
And then it is true though. I literally I woke up Monday morning to go to work, and my back was tight, and it was like I slept funny, whatever it was, and then not the end of the world. Normally you limber up as the day goes on, you're good to go. Well, then I pulled something in my lower back, and it has been all goddamn week.
Hmm.
This has been like to the point. It's been painful. Like it's if you take deep breaths, it hurts, and
Yeah.
so kind of just going through it. And then last night was the first night that I laid down in a long time, and I'm like, I actually feel semi decent. So I'm trying to lay in a way to make sure I don't re-pull anything. And anyways, woke up this morning, feel better. I know I'm way too young to be complaining about that. There's going to be some listeners out there that are like 34, man. You got a long way to go, and the towing industry is gonna eat you up. But I think a lot of it is I've been out of the truck a little bit more lately, right? We talked about that. My owner was gone on vacation. I've been
Yeah.
focusing on a lot of projects that I've got going on in the office, and it is taking me out of the truck more than I would like. And I think it's gotten me a little out of shape.
Yeah.
I've never been the specimen of physical fitness by any means. But if you don't change your lifestyle and you don't physically work as much, eventually it's going to catch up to you. And in my case, it was, led to pulling something in my sleep apparently and having a bad back for a week.
I know in high school I didn't care what I ate at all. and all my friends, like I was always a bigger fella. They're like, "How are you not 300 pounds?" It's like, I don't know. I guess I got a fast metabolism from the Fast and Furious movie. I said it kind of like he does. Doctor says I got a fast metabolism. I think that's how he says it. I don't know. I can't fucking remember. That was high school. But
The ramblings of TowManG.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've
sorry to the listeners if you hear a dog whining in the background. I'm looking after a dog and she is losing her teeth. So she likes to chew on a toy and whine.
do like mine and lock it outside.
Yeah. Then she would whine at the door wanting in.
Yeah, the good news is the listener wouldn't have to listen to it. Wow, English is hard today. So before we get too far into the show, it is a great time to mention we always appreciate your questions, comments, concerns. We've covered a lot of them on the show. We're going to look at some wonderful things from the interwebs today that we found. If you see posts on Facebook, social media, Instagram, TikTok, or even videos over on YouTube, right, where we're watching, don't forget to comment down below, hit the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. You can visit us at www.towinglife.ca and find the Contact Us tab, or you can email us directly at thetowinglife@gmail.com or by messaging us on Facebook at the Towing Life Podcast. I do apologize for any of our, I don't know, G, if you've been monitoring our social media, not the page, but the group, the Towing Life group.
We have a group?
We have a group.
I didn't know that.
Yes, we have a group. Well, that is good. And I'm hoping a lot of you didn't know about that because somehow I had failed to set moderation alerts properly. And our wall was nothing but porn.
Oh, wonderful.
With I'm sure links that were no good for nothing. Right? Like nothing but spam links and whatnot. So somebody at work happened to point it out. He goes, hey, you're gonna have to sponsor a little more of our race car, right? We sponsor a local race team. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, with all that porn money coming in, you guys got to be rolling in it. I go, what? And he says, have you not seen your group? Thankfully, it wasn't our official Towing Life page.
Yeah.
It was our official Towing Life group, which is very minor and still in its infancy. But yeah, it was nothing I went through, and it was just post. I don't know how Facebook doesn't catch this. I can't post something that would be considered somewhat salacious or somewhat, you know what I mean, that could be on the edge. And in this group, it was straight up screenshots from insert your favorite site here.
Yeah.
And Facebook couldn't catch on to it. I had to go through and manually ban and delete. And
I'm a part of a page. It's a memorial page for one of my buddies who died 7-8 years ago now. And the people who ran the page have lost access to that Facebook account. So you've got this page with pretty much, it was started just after he died. It'd be weird if it got started before he died.
yeah, I'm going to start you a memorial page now.
So it had all the pictures and videos from the funeral, and he was like the king of burnouts. So there's burnout videos and just a bunch of beautiful things to remember Jake by. And well, quite a few years down the road, the moderators don't have access to those Facebook accounts anymore. And just like you said, every day there would be a new clip with a link going to a porn website, and you could report it to Facebook. And sometimes I reported one and it came back and it said it didn't break their terms of service. It's like, you can see tits in the picture.
Oh yeah. Like I said, the ones I've seen were not softcore by any means. These screenshots that they had posted, and Facebook just fully allowed it. Like I went through and banned it myself, and deleted and banned the poster because it's all spam posters. And you can set, like, they've gotten somewhat better, right? Through social media, I could set guidelines that somebody who has created their account within the last month can't post, because let's be honest, that's where a lot of these bot accounts come from. There's all kinds of different things you can do. If they don't have a profile picture, they can't post. If you don't have this, they can't post. Like, you can set stuff. So I was able to go through, get rid of all of them, clean up the group. So if you haven't seen over on it, just because the page was great, our Towing Life podcast page is great, but it doesn't allow the community to comment or create their own posts or do anything like that. So we wanted to go to a social media group as well, so that they can have another place that you
instead
guys
of just the comment sections of whatever post we end up putting out that week.
I had a very exciting day.
Did you?
Yes. So I went clothes shopping.
Oh.
For the first time and I don't remember when.
Wait, so you mean like physical, like
Yes.
clothing, or like high
Yes.
vis?
No, like people clothes.
Oh,
People. So I'm
I
very
just
much
asked for that for Christmas and my birthday, and that's just what I
my
do.
wife is normally pretty good at, she will, randomly she'll go shop and she'll be like, hey, I got you a new pair of jeans. I got you a new shirt, got you a new sweater. Christmas comes around, birthday, same thing.
Yeah.
She'll get me that kind of stuff, right?
Mhm.
Most of my clothing involves show sponsors, the wonderful
Yep.
people over at BakPul Hitches. Our merch now,
Yep.
work clothing, everything like that. Like, I am not one to go out and go clothes shopping. So I went and did it for the first time. And I honestly think, as I'm picking stuff off the thing, not only did I go clothes shopping, I tried the stuff on before I bought it. I
Right.
seen the inside of a change room at a store for the first time in what's got to be 15 years.
So for the first time on the show, it is me asking for a new co-host, not the other way around, because something is terribly wrong with PlainGuy. I don't know what has gotten into him. Maybe that cold that he had a couple of weeks back has just flicked a couple of gears in the opposite direction, but he is no longer the same person, and I don't like it.
I'm not sure I really like me either. Right. So I'll be honest what started this whole thing. So as you know, I'm going down. We've talked about it. We're going down to Baltimore to the Tow Show.
Yep.
And I've been told we're going out to a couple fancy dinners. What do you have for nice clothing? I went, I don't know.
Does a t-shirt
And
count?
yeah, well, you are the epitome, sir, of not having nice clothing.
Hey,
Like,
I got nice plaid collared shirts. You can tuck those into the jeans with a nice belt. As long as the jeans are somewhat clean, you're good to go.
so I went through and I didn't have very much.
Yeah.
So off we go. So we hit the first store we go to, and I called my wife. Actually, she was out doing some other shopping. I said, hey, did you know this store moved? And she goes, yeah, they moved like 7 years ago. Well, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know.
Hmm.
So I thought it was here. Anyways, I'm on my way over. If you want to come by, I could probably use some help with this.
Yeah.
So sure
Good
enough,
call.
we go, we shop, we grab some shirts, some pants, some different things. And she's like, okay, well, we'll go to the change rooms. I'm like, the what? She's like, we got to try it on. I'm like, I hate this part.
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy I did because I'd be returning a lot. Normally what happens is she buys it, she brings it home, I try it on. If it doesn't fit, she goes and returns it.
Yeah. So she does all the legwork for you, and you can just change in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, I seen the inside of the change room. I tried on some pants. I come out, so I'm just like, those look great. I'm like, these look like skinny jeans. Like, no, these are not. Like, my mother as a child used to do this with me, and my wife perfectly replaced that person. She's gonna kill me when she hears that. Luckily, she's not here right now. She replaced what a mother would do on shop. Well, here, let me tuck that in. Let me see what that looks like with the. And okay, go try that on with this shirt. And listen, it was a painful day. I am still recuperating. She spoiled me with Starbucks because I'm a basic spoiled white guy.
I think I've only ever done that once, and that was with a long, long ago ex-girlfriend when I was in high school. She dragged me to the mall, and she's like, "Let's pick you out an outfit." It's like, I've never owned an outfit before.
Yeah, an outfit. Like, oh,
Like,
this
what
one's
the
great
hell's
for
an
this.
outfit?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we will get you this undershirt and this shirt to go on over top of it. And the undershirt, I think, was like a lime green. So, like, it doesn't go with anything but this outfit. I think I wore it twice and never wore it again.
Yeah, the things we did for the opposite sex in our younger years, right?
Yeah.
Where no, I was looking, I'm like, okay, look, I don't do whites. No white shirts. I don't do white shirts, never have. I'm a big black, gray, maybe beige. Maybe some nice khaki pants. If I'm from Boston, some khakis. Right? Like that's all I'm getting.
No.
But she got me this one shirt. Actually, it was blue with little, like, it's got a little pattern on it. And I'm like, I tried it on. I'm like, damn, I don't actually hate this. I want to, but it actually looks pretty good. So
I'm just a firm believer of wearing work shirts everywhere.
So I have a new wardrobe. My wife loves it because a couple times we've gone out to, we'll go out to a nice, head out to a steakhouse, something like that. She wants me to dress up a little bit more than my t-shirt, a Towing Life t-shirt with a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
So it's something to make her happy. I only had I had that one nice sweater I'd put on when we went somewhere.
Yeah.
Where now I that a couple. It was a much needed. It's part of adulting. I have hit that stage in my life that I'm not happy. That I'm being forced to adult way more than I would like to adult. And I'm sure there's people listening out there going like, yeah, PlainGuy sold out. Or there's other people listening going, it's about goddamn time you actually grew up and decided to, get yourself a proper wardrobe that isn't, Canadian towing equipment shirts. Like I said, Towing Life
They
shirts.
have nice shirts though.
They do. They do. Right. It's about time we got a little more modernized and a little more snazzy looking.
Would you believe me if I told you I bought my first suit, paid for, owned in grade 9?
No, I would 100%. I would believe that would be the only time you ever bought a suit, not the first time, the only time.
Yes, correct.
Like, you own one suit, correct?
I used to.
Okay, let's play a game.
Yeah.
Now, I know I'm a little bit more refined than you. We've established this already.
Yeah.
How many
I
suits?
used to be a wedding, or it was a wedding show model. Yeah. I modeled suits for a wedding show because I used to be a DJ, and that was one of the things. You got to go to these wedding shows and try on different things, and it was fun.
Time has not been good to you if you were ever a model at one point, my friend.
Yeah.
How many suits do you think I have? I'll tell you how many I have. 2?
Yeah.
Why would I have 2 suits?
One of one color, one of a different color. Maybe one's a little bit bigger, one's a little bit smaller.
That's fair. I have 3.
Okay.
But 2 of them, you're right. If you could figure this out right away, it would be a lot easier to remember. I got married.
Yeah.
Which means I would have bought a suit when I got married. Right? Kind of part of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where your relationship is going, but one day you will have to buy a suit for your wedding.
Yeah.
It can be a Canadian tuxedo, probably. Like, you could rent one. Yeah. And then I was a best man in my cousin's wedding. So I had a suit, obviously, from that wedding.
Yeah.
And then I have a third one because I had a suit before because I'm not a complete peasant. Because that was kind of the conversation about going to Baltimore. I'm like, do I need to bring my suit? No, you just need nice clothes. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, tell me I need a suit. I'm like, if you're telling me no suit, it's pretty much everything but a jacket.
Yeah.
Right. Nice clothes, nice dress pants, belt, tie, button up shirt.
Yeah.
That's nice clothes. Right. That is, to me, that is nice clothes. There is no in between. It's t-shirts or it's a suit. Which way are we going here?
Well, a nice collared button-down shirt and a nice pair of blue jeans would be like semi-formal, which would be the in-between.
I'm not sure if that actually classifies as semi-formal. I'd have to look up the definition of semi-formal, but I don't think jeans classify into semi-formal.
They classify for me, okay?
I think that's a casual formal.
You should see me at weddings and funerals. It's great.
No, I don't.
Because I only own a pair of work boots. My dress shoes don't fit anymore.
Make you a deal. If you ever, for whatever reason, have to come to my funeral, you have to buy a full suit with shoes.
That's fine. You'll probably outlive me anyways.
Okay. So enough of our fashion styles and our personal aging and all the aches and pains that comes with. Let's actually get to what the listener came here to listen to. I know they enjoy our ramblings of our personal lives, but let's actually get to what the listener came to talk about. Or to hear, I guess. You were talking before the show about, have you seen the new Dollies that Collins has posted? Now, I didn't get a full breakdown of them. We can talk about what we had seen on them, right? They had these new Dollies that were ultra wide. Yep. They could accommodate trailers with blown tires. The day of us doing the hang up, right, half the dolly set and hanging up to the axle have gone away, which I have seen people make those where they have actually made steel brackets for that. Collins said enough of that. We are going to design you a set of dollies that are ultra wide specifically to do trailers, to do dollies, or dualies, sorry. Now, I don't know what the weight specs are on them. Maybe you can pull that up. I hope that's what you're doing at this time. But I am actually intrigued, and I am going to see the people at Collins or whoever is selling on behalf of Collins at the Baltimore show, because I am truly intrigued about these dollies, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they can extend as wide as they can. I could see a value in these Collins dollies, which I've never been a fan of in the past. I could see a value in these things past the point of the ultra wide. And why I say that is I'll pull it up so you can see it, G. But the new design on the Collins dollies, right? What do you notice different about those?
About the Collins?
Yes.
They've got buttons on both sides of the dolly bars.
Yes. It's a by the looks of it, it is a 3-piece dolly bar.
Yeah.
Instead of a 2-piece. And that is what truly intrigues me.
Hmm.
Right? Anyone that's ran a set of dollies, whether it be in the ditch or Collins, will know that those are your dolly bars are normally a 2-piece bar.
Yep.
One piece is the outer tubing that gets welded down into a narrower piece. Wow, I cannot speak English today. Right? That then gets put into the other receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had failures with those dolly bars at full extend previously because they would break right at that weld. And that has nothing to do with Collins. That has nothing to do with in the ditch. I just want these dolly bars. As for the setup of whatever you prefer, whether you're a Collins person or an in the ditch person, those dolly bars are now a 3-piece. It looks like. Which means you're putting the pressure onto 2 different locations on that dolly bar when you are loading them up, not one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so if that is a solid piece that goes into the middle rather than a welded on extension as a reducer, your strength is going to be much higher on those bars. So that alone is what has piqued my interest in these dollies. It's not that they can do trailers. It's not that they can do dualies. It's not that they can do any of that. It's, first of all, the amount of customization for widths that you want, and the option to have that 3-piece dolly with that higher strength, in my opinion.
I've always liked the Collins dollies, and I've pulled up the posts that I think we both saw on Tow Talk on Facebook. It's a wonderful Facebook group if you're not a part of it.
Absolutely.
It's not super wonderful. It's a lot of hateful shit sometimes, but a lot of good information. The one person commented here, what kind of load rating do you have on those tires? Your first picture does not look good. And the picture that they're talking about is they have the dolly set up on the front axle of a tandem axle trailer with a car on the trailer.
Yeah.
So as you could assume, you got a lot of weight because you're not just taking the weight of that dead axle, you're also lifting up partial weight off of the good axle that is still on the ground. Collins dollies responded, although underinflated at 90 psi and overloaded by almost 2,000 pounds, the Collins proprietary 992 pound rated 4.8 times 8 load range D tires, so your standard dolly tire. They're running the same type of tires for a total of 3,968 pounds total load capacity. Did just as expected. They were carrying roughly 6,000 pounds for the real world road test. It's little wonder the tires appear low with the additional 2,000 pounds beyond its rated capacity. Now, that didn't read super right, but one thing I gotta really give Collins.
It read perfectly right.
Yeah.
He said there's little wonder that it looks like the tire's low on air. It's because it's
Yeah.
overloaded by 2,000 pounds.
The one thing that I do like about Collins, and I have ran a set of Collins dollies before, and I do enjoy the ratcheting system. I don't enjoy it so much in the wintertime because of all the slush and everything, but it definitely will help you if you lose your footing. They've been testing these sets of dollies, and I've seen a post from over a year ago of a gentleman with them on a tandem dump truck on like an International S1600, I think it was.
Yeah,
And
this wasn't them testing them, for the record. This was some backwoods guy comparing
Yes,
dollies to Air
but
Collins.
they gave him this set to use and abuse.
I
And
thought
it's
it
the
was in the
same
ditch.
truck that you see in the pictures. So as they are showing this off, in the pictures that they're showing off, they're showing like an F350 or an F450 with the rear tires up on these dollies. In the comment section, they also show that dump truck from the gentleman who tested it in the pictures as well. And I don't know of any other manufacturer that would go to bat for overloading their equipment, but it's nice to see that they are testing it in the real world and doing, okay, let's push it beyond its limits, right? Let's see what these things can actually do. It's rated for this, especially because the tires are the limiting factor, and I'm assuming you're going to blow out one of those small dolly tires before you break an actual bar, because like you're saying, it's a 3-piece bar. You've got, I know with the in the ditch dollies, it's pretty easy to snap at the welds on the one bar. Same
Yeah,
thing
well,
with the
the
Collins dollies.
Collins have the same design.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
interchange the bars.
No, exactly. And that was always a weak point.
Mm.
If they're able to get rid of that weak point, you'd be able to overload these a lot more. And judging by the pictures,
you still like. I love your thing that you've never seen a company that'll go to bat for overloading their product. No, every company has tested their product to overload their product, right? BA Products doesn't sell something with a rating of 1,000 pounds that they're not willing to throw
no, I'm
2,000
not
on it.
saying that, but they advertise the working load limit. Collins is
Everyone
showing off
advertises
what it
the working
can
load.
do,
Yeah.
which is beyond its working load limit.
Well,
The
again,
picture that they posted, the one picture, 2,000 pounds overweight, and they're advertising that picture.
Why? No, it's over. I don't know what company you haven't. Like I said, it's not that they're like, this isn't new. I don't know how many advertisements you've seen for things, but this isn't new to show that it is well above its rated capabilities. That's not new. That's
I'm not
not
saying
like
it's new.
something
I'm saying that it's great to see it from Collins.
No, because the reason that most companies don't do that is because some idiot's going to go do it and then say, look, Colin said I could do it. Because they're stupid and there's liability and everyone wants to sue everybody.
Yeah.
But yes, those products, those dollies should be able to, and everyone has overloaded a set of dollies at one point in their life. I almost guarantee it. Because you're right. It is good about normally the tires, you're running about $1,000 pounds per tire. Right. That's what he said. It's 39 something. It's about 4,000 pounds your dollies are normally rated for.
Yeah.
Right. I want to say the in the ditch common ones are like 3,400 pounds, maybe 3,600 pounds. And again, it depends on your tires. It depends on your weakest link. Right. Yeah. It's like rigging up to, doubling up line and running a single grade 70 chain to something. And you're only as good as that 70 chain. You're doubled up is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But no, it is cool. That 3-piece bar is something that's really interested me. I've used Collins maybe a handful of times. I've checked them out. I remember the releases being a little bit sketchy. But you're right. We were just talking about that in the shop with the boys about how many times you've eaten a dolly bar in your face before. I normally take with a new guy and take a 1,500 in the yard and hook it up on the dollies. And I pull right to that, right before that latch point, and I move him out of the way and I let it go so that he can see the force that this thing has when it's coming back at you and what's going to happen if you have your face, chest, shoulder, anything in the way of that, you're going to get seriously hurt.
Yeah. You make sure you're not there in case you slip, and make sure no one else is standing there.
Yeah. Oh, we purposely launched a dolly bar just to show them.
Yeah.
And so I can see the advantage of a Collins system where the ratcheting and click, 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 and definitely a lot safer on the operator side. It's like everything, right? Collins versus in the ditch, Miller versus NRC. Chev versus Dodge, right? They've all got their own ideas on approaches on how to do things, and then they're going to steal from whoever's doing better and add that into their arsenal of
like I was saying, I do like the Collins dollies. I've ran them before. They are a little bit more complex because you got the ratchet system, and then you've got the little wing nuts that go over top of the release bars to make sure they stay down. The in the ditch dollies is you flip it over, and as long as you put the cam locks in, you're good. The Collins dollies, you've got safety features built in, so it's more to train, it's more to remember, it's more things to fiddle with on the side of the road. Especially, I had it a lot, the little L bars that go over the top of the release latch would seize up. So then you're in the winter on the side of the road trying to get it freed up, and then once you get back to the shop, then you're taking a can of WD-40 and like trying to get it to be where it's working again. Where the in the ditch dollies, I think you can abuse more, and they just take it until they don't, and they fail, and they leave you stranded. Right? I think I'm just being honest. I think the Collins dollies are a little bit more finicky, and if you're not one to be up on maintenance and you more react to things happening, I think the in the ditch dollies will probably do you better. I'm not
I think
saying it's
either of
good or
those.
bad. I'm just saying there's different types of people. I know I'm more a reactor. It's like, oh, I hear the wheel lift making a little bit of noise. Let me put some grease on it. Right? Should have
It
been
is true.
greased
I
a
will
couple
tell
days
you
ago,
that
but
TowManG is not proactive. He is
exactly.
not proactive on almost anything.
No,
He
no.
is reactive. He
Yes.
used proactive as a teenager because he ate too much pizza and greasy food. That was the extent of TowManG's proactiveness.
What is proactive? Is that like I know what proactive is, but you mean that I used proactive in high school? I don't know what that is.
Proactive, if I'm not mistaken, was stuff. It was a cream for like pimples and acne and everything like that. It
Oh, I
was
never used that. No.
Jessica Simpson was a model for it. It was like the big
Mm,
brand on people that had bad acne was
mm.
proactive. I
Okay.
think for all I'm gonna go confirm this. For all I know, it's a hemorrhoid cream.
Oh, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire.
Proactive is for stubborn acne. I was correct. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, it was very popular.
But they're going to be at the Baltimore Tow Show, which you are
Proactive?
also going to. Are you buying a set?
Proactive is going to be at the Baltimore Tow Show?
No, Collins, the
Oh,
Dollies. You know the thing we've been
oh.
rambling about for the last 10, 15 minutes.
I told you, I'm going to find out. I know I seen a post about what booth they're going to be at. I am absolutely going to go check it out. I
Mhm.
want to get, feel it, see it in person.
They're at
Before
booth 1502, just
it's a lot of
inside the
booths.
main entrance.
Mhm.
But-
No, I'm definitely going to check it out because that is the time. That is what tow shows are for, is to go
Mhm.
see the products, put your hands on the product, get an idea of it. But I'm due to replace the set, and it might be worth looking into.
Yeah.
There'll be a paint stuffing those in the trunk of whatever car we're taking down and back, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
So, speaking of tow talk, I
Mhm.
found a couple of other things, and to be honest with you, we regurgitate a lot on this show. We don't come up with too many things on ourselves. But I did see this post from a gentleman named Jason, and I've left his name out, but I've included everyone else's names in the comment sections because hey, it's Facebook and it's public. So the picture caption goes, "I've always serious question." Sorry, this one's from Adam. I've got too many things going on here. From Adam, serious question. If anyone is up and on here, what would you guys typically charge to private property impound a 3-car hauler with 3 vehicles on it?
Mm.
So, if you can imagine, if you're listening to this, we've got a car hauler, obviously a truck towing the trailer with 3 more pickup trucks on top of the trailer. You need to
Yes.
impound it because it's parked illegally, whatever the case may be. The comments section in this was insane. You
Yeah.
had people saying that, well, there's technically 3 cars on the vehicle or on the trailer. They all have VIN plates. Then you got the trailer, and then you got the truck towing it. So you need to charge 5 separate bills. And then you also have other people saying, no, that's freight. We've got a couple of comments here, a couple of the better ones that I pulled up. We've got an Ian saying anything with a VIN is classified as a different vehicle. So sitting there, you have 5 vehicles to call into PD, write up and impound and put into your state system. Have fun there, bud. That one had quite a few thumbs up. But then you got someone else on the completely opposite side from a gentleman named Richard. For you guys saying it's 5 different bills, how long you've been in the business and how long do you want to stay in business? Heavy toes don't open the doors to see what's in it. The only way to legal or right way is combination unit and how much space it takes up or how many vehicles to tow. You don't have the right to touch it without DOT being there, yada yada yada. This is too much stupid bickering, he says. And yeah, I think he's right. Personally, it's not
See,
like
private parking makes that tough
yeah,
because I agree with the Richard comment in the
Mhm.
sense that you charge out the storage, right? You charge out the tow for what it is and its weight class and what you needed to tow it. You
Mhm.
charge out storage based on the amount of room it takes up in your pound,
Mhm.
right? Most storage, like I don't know if people know how to actually if people calculate the storage or they just go, oh, it's this much a day.
Mhm.
No, it's almost a calculation put it up on square footage.
Yep.
on your property. So, yes, that trailer is going to cost more to impound than, let's say, just one of those trucks that are on the bed of it. But the
So
trailer as a whole,
let me give you an
doesn't cost.
example. I'm driving down the road on a lawn tractor, and I'm drunk. I get pulled over, and my lawn tractor gets impounded. Right? That gets charged a one vehicle slot, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a vehicle. Okay. Now I get pulled over, DUI. I'm towing a landscape trailer with that same lawnmower on the landscape trailer. Well, you're going to charge me for the storage of the truck and the trailer, but you're not going to be charging me the storage on that lawnmower that's on the trailer.
Yes.
Because if you are, that's bullshit.
Now, what I think makes this difference, and why I referenced the fact that it's a private parking, is because they do have to report. I don't know, depending on how your state works. I know if I was doing this private parking, which I don't do, I really stay away from private parking. I've got enough other work going on. I do not need private parking. I do not need to upset people to make a buck. All right. No shot against the guys that do it. I'm just saying, not my business. That being said, if I were to do that, I would 100% call in to PD with, plate numbers or VIN numbers. Because it's right. Those vehicles, those cargo, need to be reported as well for private parking to PD. So I may add a little bit more onto my invoice for admin time into that.
Yep.
But I'm not charging. I cannot see. And unless there's a different state regulation somewhere that I don't know about, right? We don't know how each individual states, because you guys can't, we think we're bad for not having a unified front. The difference is we only have how many provinces and territories do we have? 11 provinces, 3 territories?
I think
something like that and close.
Yeah.
Someone will call me out for not knowing this.
Geography is not our strong suit here.
You guys have 51 or 52, or some people recognize 50. I don't know how many states you have. So your legislation jumps from state to state to state to state to state, right? One state will ban abortions, and the other one will make you run each of those VINs individually and impound the cars separate. So I don't know. For the American guys, the private parking, if that's a DUI, that's a no-brainer. If that's a DUI, that's a no-brainer. Truck and trailer can come in. I'll release the load. I'd release the vehicles. The load isn't on hold. A lot of times on a DUI, the trailer is questionable if they'll let it go. But even that, I'll release the load. I've got the value in the trailer to hold on to. It's a nice trailer. Looks pretty good.
Okay, right? So let me throw this one hypothetical at you. It's an old shipbox truck and trailer with a couple of shipbox trucks on it, right?
Happens. It's a scrap load.
Right? He doesn't come to pick up the trailer.
Yes.
But one of the vehicles on it is insured for whatever reason. And they say, we're going to get that vehicle off of that trailer because we need to recover that vehicle ourselves.
Yeah. Cool. You pay the whole bill.
Okay.
No, it's true. Yeah. I don't, and this is a big topic that comes up on Tow Talk a lot, and I'm sure you've seen this, and it relates a little bit differently, but it's the same concept, right? You've got a truck, a trailer, and cargo. Transport wreck. Well, the truck company only wants to pay the bill for the truck recovery. The trailer insurance only for it, and the cargo separately. The general rule that most guys will use, and you'll see, is that I don't care how you guys sort it out, but somebody writes me a check for the full amount. And that is exactly what would be happening there. It doesn't get released until it's paid.
In full. For everything.
In full. And how you guys want to sort that out amongst yourselves is between you. Where I said I would release the load is in a case where, yes, those are vehicles that he was transporting. Okay, we'll release the loads for the trailers. If you were talking about a full load of junk, yeah.
I think that's something that you guys who are saying in the comment section that you would split it up into 5 different bills are going to run into an issue with. Because if you've billed everything separately, well, then you are having to figure out how to get these things off that said trailer if vehicle number 2 in the middle of the trailer needs to be released before anything else. You don't have
the whole bill gets paid, the vehicle gets released, and they worry about how they're getting their freight off.
Yeah.
Right? Don't make this harder for yourself. It's a lot of greedy guys in the industries, and you get so many of those guys. I don't start my truck for less than $700. Okay. That's the same guy that'll tell you that I'm charging all 5 individually. And the guy who wrote the comment that says, how long you been in it and how long do you think you're going to be in it, I think is the best way to approach that argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's true. You are not going to be in it long. And first of all, PPI, I don't think you can do forever anyways.
No.
There's too many enemies. There's too much bullshit in it. Again, props to you guys that do it. I'd love to operate a self-loader and just wheel into a parking lot and scoop a car. Like, I love what these guys do. I think it's awesome. I
Yeah,
think it's
you got to change the company name every couple of years just to try to keep up that anonymity.
anonymity.
That's
Anonymity.
That's it.
It is cool though. Like, I've seen some guys pop in, boop, yeah, turn it, over
Yeah,
around the
you see
lot.
the videos on Facebook, and you're like,
there's
wow.
cool shit.
Grabs one tire, flips the vehicle around, and then grabs
Yeah.
it from the front again, and
Yeah, exactly. Like some of the crazy angles they can, like, it's cool. I props to you. But at the same time, it's not. I have no desire to do that kind of. And like, I don't know if it was just a generic question he was asking the guys, because like in this photo, the truck lights are on that he's talking about. So I don't know if it is something he's approaching to PPI himself, or he just asking the question out of curiosity. I think it's more of a curiosity thing than anything else.
It's a good question, regardless.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that, yeah, what do you do when you approach this?
Mm-hmm.
I just like it more whenever it's actual professionals that get together with a problem they're currently having and a solution to it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it is fun to play the hypothetical what if game.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have a lot where it's like guys will actually post up problems they're having. Like, hey, I've got these cars abandoned in my state. What do I do? How do I collect? Who can I go after? What kind of insurance?
Yeah.
Data, and so on. But no, props on this guy for asking the question, and props on some of the good answers, and to hell with the bad answers. There's always going to be the dummy, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Yep, for sure.
Some of them work better than others.
Yeah. Now, I did find this picture before the last episode that we saw, and this one is from Jason. He states, I've always wanted to try this, and today I got my chance. 60-mile tow from Copart to the buyer went flawlessly. And if you're, once again, listening onto the audio side, jump over to the YouTube side, see this picture. It looks like two Chevys are both on top of this flatbed.
Yep.
Now, the rear Chevy is the front tires are on the bed, and the rear tires are on the scoops of the wheel lift, and everything looks to be strapped down. The cars on the deck look like they're chained. The wheel straps are on the actual wheel lift, so it should be all hunky-dory there.
Mhm.
Now, I don't see any safety chains if you really want to get technical, but I don't think you need safety chains in this situation.
Well, there's nothing stopping that wheel lift from pivoting other than the fact that it's tied to the two wheels. I could see that could be a weird,
Yeah.
I'm not, the physics in my head aren't quite working on how that would become an issue, but I could see how there could be something from that.
Now,
it's cool. It's
the
cool.
only-
I wanted to try this. I honestly, personally have wanted to try this.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I don't know how
I've done the
practical it
same
is.
thing on my wrecker with like ATVs and trailers and whatnot. You pick it up and you put the front tires or the rear tires on the deck of your or your wheel lift, and then you actually scoop the other set of tires. I've done that. I've shared pictures on this. It used to be my background for a Sea-Doo trailer. That I'm all for. Thinking outside of the box and getting things to work in the application you need it to work. Great. I love seeing that kind of stuff. And as long as you can do it safely, and I'm assuming you've kind of worked out how much weight you still got on your front axle.
I'm questioning his scaling on that one, but yeah, that's the biggest problem. I'm questioning the scalability of that truck.
Mm-hmm.
It is a big enough truck. It is two smaller SUVs, but just the way that the weight transfer is going to work.
Mm-hmm. Because if you think about it, when it's normally on the wheel lift, you're picking up maybe 55% of that car, and the other 45% is actually on the car's rear axle.
Yeah, where everything currently is on your drives.
Yeah.
Plus, because of the overhang, the transfer from your steers to your drives, I'd be curious. I'd like to see the scale ticket trying it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'd like to see what the scale ticket would say going across it. I'm hoping, I don't see any, but you'd have to put some sort of tow light on the rear where we're from, because your overhang from your tail lights is too much. Right? Not to mention, can't really see your tail lights.
No.
Period. What bugs me more is that you didn't center that picture on our slide. Is probably the most annoying thing about this picture that I see.
I thought I centered it.
You clearly did not, but no, I'd want to try it. I like that he strapped the wheels. I like what he did. I mean, I like that he took the shot. If it's scaled, I'm in. If it's legal, I mean, show me where it's not, right? Once we get rid of the light issue and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's
I
something.
mean, like, the tires look to be handling it well.
Yeah, the suspension on the front looks to be handling
I
it well.
highly doubt the rear axle is going to be overweight. I am more concerned about how much weight is left on your front axle. Just because they're too small SUVs.
Okay. This is why you're not allowed to spec trucks anymore. No, like I said, show me the scale ticket. I'm in. I like the idea. I've wanted to try it myself. As long as you can do that load, I want to see how you loaded it. I mean, in what sequence? Like, I understand the general concept. I'm guessing as the bed was coming in, then you set the wheel lift up and then you folded everything back in together to keep the rockers from getting crushed. I'd like to see if somebody has a video of somebody loading 2 cars on a bed where the rear wheels are on the wheel lift of the rear vehicle. Send me a video of loading it. I'm curious to it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's stupid. Maybe throw some tow lights on it and be on with your day. But other than that, I think it's impressive, and I've wanted to try it for a while.
I don't think you'd be able to do that with an NRC with the foot-long bed locks.
Yeah, you would. 100%.
So you'd be getting pretty close to the rockers before you could tilt the bed to set her down. Because you got to slide the bed back at least a foot and a half sometimes to get it out of the bed lock to be able to start tilting, which would get very
you mean
close
putting
to
it
the
back
rocker.
down?
Yeah.
Or in that case, I guess pick it up. Yeah, no, I'd be curious. I don't know. I don't have enough of a desire to go try it in my yard. I mean, you don't even need the first vehicle on it to try it. You can just do it with, with a vehicle off the back out of curiosity. But I don't know. If I do one day, I'll take a video of it. I'll take some photos.
It'd be a good tool to have in your toolbox in case you get to a wreck and there's 2 vehicles to go and both of them got rear buggered up tires.
I'll tell that to my guys.
Yeah.
That's how I'll sell it for training.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I'll sell it for training. Hey, I'm all for tools in the toolbox. I'm not sure if I'm teaching that one. I would much rather have the opinion of people that are much smarter than I for that.
Carry a set of dollies on your truck.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. Probably make life
Get a new set of the Collins dollies, and there you go. Bob your uncle.
Yeah, just go out, head out to Baltimore, get yourself a set of these new Collins dollies. Check them out, the 3-piece. I'll be there. Don't forget, we'll be at the Baltimore Tow Show. If you happen to see me, not sponsored. If you happen to see me wandering around, I won't be at a booth, anything like that. I'll just be wandering around. Be sure to say hi and tell me that TowManG is your least favorite. We all know it. Somebody's got to say it.
No one said it yet.
No one said it yet. So, on behalf of myself and my wonderful co-host, Mr. TowManG, we thank you for joining us on another episode of the Tow and Life podcast, and we cannot wait to see you in Baltimore and see you again next week. Take care.
Toodles.